Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Can I ask everyone, please, to take a seat? There's still plenty of seats down here at the front on the edges, and likewise over here at the front on the edge as well. Plenty of spare seats. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week 5 of term 2. Tomorrow marks the halfway mark through term 2. So this term, like all others, is rattling along at a pace. Those messages that you frequently hear about not waiting, getting on with it, those sorts of messages, they're even more relevant now than they ever are. However, this week also brings with it a number of things which are in need of celebration. Today we will present our cross-country team before the GPS Championships later in this week. And we will present to you our Vinci Decathlon teams before their Queensland competition here at Nudgee next week. We'll also hear some messages regarding National Reconciliation Week, which we will mark next time we gather in 2 weeks' time. We'll also hear messages regarding the upcoming musical at the end of the month, which many Nudgee men have been working very, very hard to bring together, as well as being supported by a lot of staff. So that'll be a great occasion when it does arrive. We'll also hear about our marking the International Day Against Homophobia tomorrow. Week 5, though, across Australia, is National Boarding Week. And this week we celebrate everything about the boarding experience here at Nudgee and in other boarding schools around the country. So this morning, our boarders will lead us in prayer, and then they'll speak to us about their celebrations of National Boarding Week.
In voice and in action, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. I'm thankful for the love and generosity that inspires my parents to send me to boarding school. This comes at great sacrifice, materially, but also emotionally. I pray God blesses our family. I'm thankful for the adults who care for us daily. They go beyond job and work and create a home and a safe place of joy and nurture. I pray God rewards them.
I'm thankful that this semester I've received communications, emails, phone calls, messages, letters, and visits. The distance can be hard. I pray it is an opportunity to value good communication with my family all through life. I'm thankful for the confidence I gain each day living away from home, traveling, making decisions for myself, managing small things like laundry and pocket money. I pray I may be mature and grown up in my dealings with others.
I'm thankful for how this confidence is deeper than being able to travel well or organise my laundry. It stems from the knowledge that I am part of a meaningful community, from an awareness of the larger world and my place in it, that I leave one place I am loved, only to arrive in another place where I am loved. I pray I may grow in love. I'm thankful for lessons learnt at school. Schoolwork can be hard and homework is always a bit of a struggle. It is also stretching and character building. I pray that I discover the joy of learning.
I'm thankful for the beautiful property we call Nudgee. Green grass, great weather, adventure and activities, gardens and paddocks. There are many beautiful things about home, but at Nudgee it seems we live outside. I pray I may always see and appreciate beauty. I'm thankful for friends and for friendships. They aren't always smooth, they aren't easy, but they are character building and memory forming, and for better or worse, we need our mates. I pray I may be a good friend now and always.
I'm thankful that no matter what, no matter where, no matter how, this is my family, at home and at Nudgee. You can never walk away from family. Families call us to be faithful, constant, compassionate and forgiving. I pray I may be a sign of faith. Live Jesus in our hearts forever. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.
morning, Mr. Thompson, members of CLT, staff, invited guests, my Nudgy brothers, and of course, on this special occasion, to my fellow boarders. Nudgy for me has always been more than just a school. It has become my home. The endless opportunities that this school has offered me would have never been possible without joining the boarding community, and I'll forever be grateful for that. Nudgy Boarding Week is a time where I and the rest of my fellow boarders get to show you Nudgy through the lens of a boarder and display our deep appreciation for being gifted the opportunity to partake in such an experience. Words truly can't describe what it feels like to be a Nudgy boarder, but to give you a glimpse, our boarding values cover it well. Trust, brotherhood, integrity, resilience, and faith all depict what it means to be a Nudgy boarder. I could even go further to say that these qualities are what characterise young boys in becoming good Nudgy men, the pinnacle of our school. The start to my Nudgy journey would be similar to most. The nerves of moving to a new school are enough without the thought of being hours away from family, and on top of that, having to make new mates with those you have never seen before. So I'm sure you could all imagine the emotions running wild whilst making that final car trip with your parents. Luckily, here in boarding, we are blessed with the most caring staff that are willing to help each and every boy get through those first few weeks away from home. I'm not sure if you know, but Nudgy, when it first opened in 1891, was primarily a boarding school that was set up to educate boys from the country and turn them into good young men. With that being said, I feel I have every right to say that Nudgy Boarding is situated in the middle of our campus for a good reason, and that is that we represent the beating heart of our great college. Nudgy spirit truly originates within the gates of the village and still to this day echoes throughout the entire school. There is no doubt why we see so many day boys convert to boarding, as there are so many added benefits that boarding has on a person. But one that may go unnoticed is the independence developed from living the way we do. A level of organisation is required in every boarder to get through each day, and I'm sure that this skill will carry throughout the rest of our lives. The ability to converse with a range of different people, with a range of different backgrounds, every day gives us the knowledge and understanding of those around us. Being a boarder at Nudgy continues to provide me and all the boys with so many rich opportunities that I will forever be grateful for. The mateship that is felt between each and every boarder is like nothing you could ever experience, and I'm sure the bonds I've built here will truly last a lifetime. The beauty of boarding has given me traits and memories that will carry with me through the rest of my days. Boarding has been an opportunity that I am so glad to be able to share with you all, and we do share it with you all. For we all make up what is Nudgy College, a boarding school. So happy National Boarding Week, and thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, special guests, staff, and my Nudgy brothers. My name is Darcy Levette. To celebrate National Boarding Week, I'm going to tell you about my boarding journey so far. Transitioning to Nudgy College has been an amazing experience and comes with many different opportunities to get involved and be yourself. Even if it is simple as joining the chess club or playing in the band, just get involved. Transitioning to boarding was a big experience, with many ups and downs to face. However, I had my boarding brothers to persevere beside me. Boarding comes with many perks, such as being able to do recreational activities with good old Fabio and playing touch football with my mates out on Wilkes. I've enjoyed getting to know the supervisors, such as Zach and Chris from the gym. Big shout out to Mr. Sador up the back there. He will often tell us an awesome story or share with us some important life lessons. Every weekend, Fabio coordinates many different recreational activities for us to enjoy. This includes going to the beach, movie nights, going to the Chermside, and even going to NRL matches. These activities are highly enjoyable and save you from the boredom throughout your day. I just want to thank Fabio Westphal for all the hard effort he has put into these activities. They are certainly not that easy to get up and running. With boarding comes many amazing facilities around the village. Each house is provided with a common room to hang out and play ping pong with your mates or watch some movies on a Saturday morning. The boarding houses are built to perfection, with tall and airy corridors. Each room has a comfortable bed, a big desk, and plenty of spacious cupboards for all your stuff. Boarding so far has been an amazing opportunity that has been given to me by my parents, and I am grateful for this opportunity. I would also like to thank Mr. Briley for creating a genuine home away from home where all boarders feel happy and safe. I am grateful to the senior staff for providing such a relaxed and comfortable environment to live in. Mr. Lawler and Mr. Marketella, you have been amazing. Another big thank you goes to Miss Tracy Hoffman for being an amazing house mother, providing us with afternoon tea and keeping our house in tip-top shape. Boarding is an amazing experience, and I am looking forward to the years ahead. Thank you.
Hello, my fellow Nudgy brothers. My name is Thomas Stanford, and I'm here to back up Darcy by specifically talking about the boarding campout that we had at the end of week 3. We started by packing all our bags and swags into the back of Mr. Lawler's ute. He kindly drove them down as we followed on foot into the bush of Nudgy College. We got there and set up our tents or swags and sat around the campfire as we had dinner. After dinner, we got out and started to play games like Spotlight and Touch before we started to get ready for bed and sit around the campfire. After that, we slowly went to bed as the sun was almost gone and we all needed a good rest after a fun but long day. We all woke up to a delicious breakfast and a nice and warm campfire to sit around. After packing up breakfast and getting ready to go, we started to walk back to the boarding house. When we got back, we dried out the tents and swags before packing them up and getting back into the house to relax. As fun as this activity was, it wouldn't have happened without Fabio, Mr. Briley, Mr. Layla, or any of the supervisors that came and did all these things for us to make it such a fun night. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, parents, staff, and my Nudgy brothers. Last week's long weekend saw 2 Nudgy buses take nearly 90 boys out to Gundawindi. This was a great weekend for so many boarders to see what home looks like for a lot of the boarding community. The weekend started with the under-13 boarding team taking on TSS, Gundaemus, and the Dalby Wheatman. This was then followed by a clinic for all the young fellas to get involved. Saturday night saw so many friends and family head out to the show where we got to explore Sideshow Alley and enjoy watching the rodeo. Sunday was a great day for everyone to just take a look at what life looks like for so many of their Nudgy brothers. It made me very proud to have so many boys visit for the weekend, and I can't wait to do it all again next year. Massive thank you to the Transport Department for sending 2 buses out to Gundawindi and DevCom for making this weekend possible. Thank you.
Till then we're sleeping rough. Good morning, Mr. Thompson, special guests, members of CLT, staff, parents, and my fellow Nudgy brothers. Today, as we stand here on the sacred land of the Turrbal people, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of these lands and waterways that they call Nudgy or Nura, and we call Nudgy. But as we stand here as 10,000 brothers, let us also be reminded of the great diversity and complexity of this place, Nudgy College, that is more than just a school. Here at Nudgy, our identity is committed to building a better world. Standing beside each of you is not a mere image of your own self. No, standing beside you is a unique person in shape and stature, someone with a varied opinion, someone with a different life experience to you. Our teachers also vary in background and in experience, but we all come here day after day and share our stories, our voices. We share the facilities, we share the triumphs, and we share the responsibility of what happens to each other here every day. These shared voices are part of a national reconciliation plan to be the voice for generations. Week 7 asks nothing more than what we've already been doing. Week 7, National Reconciliation Week, asks us to stand today as we are today and commit to building a better world of unity, understanding, and compassion. Reconciliation is not just a mere concept or an empty word. It is a fundamental principle that guides us towards healing the wounds of the past and forging a shared path forward. It is about acknowledging and respecting the unique cultures, traditions, and histories that make up this diverse country. The first step towards reconciliation is education. Educating ourselves about the truths of our history, both the beautiful and the painful, because it is only through understanding the past that we can break the cycle of ignorance and build bridges of empathy and understanding. Today, and during Week 7 activities, I implore you to take the time to learn about the rich cultures and histories of our First Nations people, their struggles, their triumphs, and their contributions to our society. Engage in conversations, listen to their stories, and challenge the stereotypes and biases that may exist within ourselves and others. Reconciliation is not just about acknowledging the past, it is about taking meaningful action in the present. It is about standing up against discrimination, injustice, and inequality in all of its forms. It is about creating an environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and heard. In this school, we have an opportunity to create a place of inclusivity. Let us celebrate the diversity that exists within our student body, the richness of our cultures, and the strength of our collective spirit. Let us foster an environment of empathy and kindness where everyone feels safe to express their true selves. Thank you.
In my 17 years of coaching, I've seen my team win grand finals and I've had some devastating losses. But no matter what happens on the field, we end up back here, in the locker room. This should feel like home. But for some, it's filled with loneliness and fear. As coaches, we hear gay and trans jokes each week in the locker room, on the training field, and these are what us coaches think is just players letting off steam. It's often in team bonding areas where we think they're harmless jokes. But the truth is small comments can be as harmful as hateful rants.
Yeah, exactly right. It's really, really common in sport, and that's one of the problems that we have, that people don't recognise this language as homophobic, biphobic or transphobic. And it's more damaging than I think a lot of people realise, which is why we're here today. So it's these little things, these jokes, these banter that can become really insidious.
And this can send clear messages to the LGBTQ athletes that play our sports.
The message being that they're not welcome, that this is not a place where they're safe.
When I found out that my former teammates were gay, I often thought back to what did I say to him that he didn't feel comfortable to say that to me 10, 15 years ago. But also the environment that we've all grown up in or lived in accepted small, joking language constantly. Players don't understand how harmful these messages can be.
Absolutely. even when it's not violent, homophobia, biphobia, transphobia takes a real toll. So at its most basic level, we lose people from sport. We know that people with diverse genders and sexualities participate in sport much less than the broader population. But beyond that, for those who don't quit, for those who stay in the team, there's a real cost to being told every day that what you are is less, what you are is evil, what you are is disgusting. It's really hard to take. So we have lost friends from our teams, we've lost people from our communities, and it's a lot. This is really, really important work that you're doing right now.
Good morning, each and every one of you in the Nudgee community. I'm not here today to talk about rugby or league or any sport for that matter. My subject today is much more important. So please, sit up and listen. In that video, Roosters coach Trent Robinson spoke about the impact homophobia in sporting change rooms is having on the LGBTQ community. This homophobia is causing LGBTQ people to quit sport. They don't feel included, they don't feel welcome, they don't feel safe. This is sadly also the case here at Nudgee. Students at our school over the years have dropped out of playing sport. Sport they love, sport they are good at, sport they watch on TV. Because their teammates, their Nudgee brothers, have not made them feel welcome, included, or safe. Often this homophobia is not due to violent actions. It's caused by what boys view as jokes or banter. Boys calling other boys gay, a princess, a fairy, or a fag. Some of you may be thinking, well, why does this matter? I don't have any gay guys on my team. Or you might be thinking, oh, I don't really mean it like that. When I call something gay, it's just another word for bad. Well, I'm here today to tell you it does matter. Words matter. Your words matter. Some of our Nudgee brothers are gay. Some of them have a gay sibling. Some of them have a mum and another mum or two dads. It's not about whether you have any gay players in your team. It's about any student at our school being able to walk into a change room and feel welcome, feel included, and feel safe. And they don't have to hide who they are. Nudgee sport should be inclusive so that anyone can walk in and say, yeah, this is a place for me. I feel welcome here. I feel safe here. Tomorrow, the 17th of May, is Ida Hobbit Day. It's an international day against homophobia. It's a day when every single one of us has the opportunity to be an ally to our friends and family in the LGBTQ community. An ally is someone who supports and advocates for the equal treatment of a community other than our own. Being an ally can require courage. It can sometimes be uncomfortable, but it's very important. So everyone in our community is treated equally and without discrimination. I'm proud to call myself an ally of the LGBTQ community. Today I challenge you, men of Nudgee, to really reflect on and consider the language and words you're using in your everyday life. Are the words you are using potentially excluding one of your 10,000 brothers from playing a sport they love? Are the words you are using discriminating against others? If they are, it's time to stop. Nudgee College stands against all forms of homophobia, homophobic language and actions. Tomorrow is Ida Hobbit Day and we'll be having an allyship barbecue in the Edmund Rice Mall. It's being run by our barbecue committee who'll be running it in place of the usual Thursday barbecue. I will be there along with other staff and students at our school who are part of or who are allies of the LGBTQ community. I hope you can come along and join us. Finally, if you really want to be a Signum Fidei, a proper sign of faith, you won't just check yourself, but you'll also call out your nudgy brothers who continue to be homophobic. Don't accept it. Don't just laugh along. Be brave. Stand firm. Tell them to stop it. This is what a real nudgy man looks like. Take the challenge, gentlemen, and meet it. Not just tomorrow on Ida Hobbit Day, but for every day moving forward. Because nudgy sport and nudgy college is for everyone. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, CLT, special guests, parents, staff, and my fellow nudgy brothers. Next week, students from years 5 to 11 are participating in the Da Vinci Decathlon. Leonardo da Vinci was one of the world's greatest thinkers and scholars. He demonstrated an ability to perceive the interconnected nature of knowledge and embraced learning with a lifelong passion and determination to reveal the unknown. The Da Vinci Decathlon requires competitors to use and demonstrate their high-order thinking skills, problem-solving abilities, and creativity. The competition consists of 10 events across 10 disciplines, including code breaking, engineering, and cartography.
Lateral thinking is the key to Da Vinci's success. Just as Olympic decathlon athletes are all-rounders that excel in running, jumping, and throwing events, the best Da Vinci teams contain creators, scientists, mathematicians, and constructors. Since the start of the term, students have been participating in twice weekly lunchtime training sessions, demonstrating their dedication and commitment to achieving the best in the day. Our team is now ready and looking forward to the competition. Last year, Year 7 and 10 teams were very successful, subsequently securing a place at the National Championships. In 2023, our aim is to build on these results. I wish my fellow Da Vinci decathletes the best of luck for the academic challenge next week. I'd now like to welcome to the stage Mr. Thompson, the acting principal, to present the badges, and Mr. Castellino to introduce the 2023 Years 5 and 6 Da Vinci teams.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, special guests, parents, staff, and men of Nudgy. It is my privilege to present the Year 5 Da Vinci team. Please hold your applause until the end. In our Year 5 team, we have Oliver Clancy, William Copeman, Christopher Dallimore, James Grian, Mason Pickering, Louis Smith, Parker Thompson, and Jack Williams. Please join me in congratulating our Year 5 Da Vinci team. In Year 6, the Da Vinci team members are Matthias Beckers, Dihan Duwidge, Sam Hall, Nate Moore, Stephen Minio, George Mitchell, Max Watson, and Xavier Whisker, who is absent today. So please join me in congratulating our Year 6 Da Vinci team. I would now like to welcome to the stage Ms. Donna Roberts, the Acting Program Leader for Enrichment, to introduce our Years 7, 8 and 9 Da Vinci teams. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, special guests, parents, staff, and men of Nudgee. I wish all our Nudgee Da Vinci decathletes the best of luck for next week. It's my privilege to present the 2023 Year 7 Da Vinci team. In our Year 7 team, we have Spencer Blake, Thomas Carroll, Darcy Cotter, Hugo Jobber, Flynn McDermott, Ashley Overs, Rahul Padmanabhan, Oxton Seedy. Please join me in congratulating our Year 7 Da Vinci team. In Year 8, the Da Vinci team members are Peter Beckers, James Carroll, Thomas Chappell, Tobias Grant, who is absent today, Santiago King-Scott, Troy Lee, Edward McDonnell, and Kinnan McLean. Please join me in congratulating our Year 8 Da Vinci team. In Year 9, the Da Vinci team members are Ethan Andrews, who is absent today, Jacob Brown, William Dallymore, Jeremy Deacon, Andrew Emery, who is also absent today, Tom Cooley, Max Lazzarini, and Baxter Wedderveen, who is also absent today. Please join me in congratulating our Year 9 Da Vinci team. I would now like to welcome Mr. Dane Tracy, our Acting Director of Learning and Teaching, to the stage to introduce our Years 10 and 11 Da Vinci teams.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, special guests, parents, staff, and men of Nudgee. It is my privilege to present the Year 10 Da Vinci team for 2023. Tejas Ashok, who is absent today. Dermot Clancy. Joseph Costigan. Matthew Heath. Andrew LaMonica. Will Newbecker. Alex Smith and Ash Taylor. Please join me in congratulating the Year 10 Da Vinci team. In Year 11, the Da Vinci team members are Thomas Deeren, Benjamin Ditchburn, Ned Fairley, George Gillam, Michael Malone, Devashan Naidu, Alex Paddy, and Oscar Rawadi. Please join me in congratulating the Year 11 Da Vinci team and all other year level competitors. I'd now like to welcome to the stage Riley House Prefects Mladen Markovic and Jasper Innes to the stage to discuss the Red Shield appeal.
According to government and research data, over 3.3 million Australians, including over 700,000 children, are currently living in poverty, and 40% of renters believe they will struggle to pay rent over the next 3 months. This current economic climate has led to a steady increase in people facing hardship. Data from Suicide Prevention shows that as of March 2023, 46% of Australians have reported feeling increased pressure as the cost of living continues to rise, an increase of 5% from the previous quarter. An alarming number of Aussie families are feeling the pain of rising costs right now, with the cost of groceries, energy bills, and fuel increasing dramatically over the past year. More than 40% of Aussie households have struggled to afford household basics in the last 3 months, and over half of Australians say they will struggle to pay an essential bill over the next 3 months. Good morning, Mr. Thompson, special guests, parents, staff, and my fellow Nudgee brothers. The Salvation Army Australia is a national Christian movement united by faith and gives hope where it's needed most. The Salvos in our community work hard to make a difference in the lives of those doing it tough. With recent natural disasters, the rising cost of living, and continuing impacts from the pandemic affecting people and families across the country, the Salvation Army is needed more than ever. Through critical support services and programs, the Salvos are committed to providing wrap-around care to Australians struggling with hardship, homelessness, domestic violence, natural disasters, addiction, and mental illness, and walking alongside them for as long as it takes to get them back on their feet. I'll now pass it over to Jasper, who will explain how you can help with this situation.
Riley House has supported the Salvation Army and the Red Shield Appeal for over 25 years and is excited to continue their support of this amazing organisation this year. But this year we are looking to our Nudgee brothers to stand with us, to be a signum fidei, to help us to help others. Since COVID struck in 2020, our traditional door knock has been replaced with a digital door knock. If you would like to be involved, you simply need to sign up, create your own fundraising page, and join the Riley team. You can then share your fundraising link or QR code with your family and friends. Information regarding the sign-up process can be found on the daily notices every day this week. It is a simple process, but one that will make a massive difference. In addition to the digital door knock, Riley students in Year 9 and 12 will be participating in a sponsored sleep out on May 27. This will give the boys an opportunity to experience the hardship of homelessness and appreciate the amazing work of the Salvos. If you cannot sign up for the digital door knock, you could consider sponsoring a mate. Together, we can help ensure nobody is left to struggle alone. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, CLT, staff, and my fellow Nudgee brothers. In less than 3 weeks, our musical production of Footloose hits Teeny Auditorium as we follow the story of Ren McCormack, a city boy who challenges a small town, Beaumont's, ban on dancing. With help from students from St. Rita's and Mary MacKillop, this show has been in the work for months, with shows featuring from the 1st to the 3rd of June. Today, members from our cast, musical pit, and backstage crew have been invited for a Q&A. So, Hunter, what's the most challenging thing about auditioning for the musical?
Auditioning, I think it'd be choosing what role to play. It's quite a challenging process, and like competing with your other fellow cast members, but yeah, and performing in front of your peers is quite challenging as well. Yeah.
Rio, which character do you play, and what is their role in the context of the musical, and what do you like most about playing the role?
So I play two characters, Cowboy Bob and Coach Dunbar. So basically, they're two very separate characters. And the most challenging part's probably like the costume changes between scenes. It's a bit like full on time-wise.
Cheers, Rio. Hunter, to play a lead, you have to be able to act, sing, and dance, known as the triple threat in the performance world. Which part is the hardest?
I think I speak on most of the Nudgee boys when I say not much of us can dance. But Miss Cunningham helps us with that, with her amazing choreography, so we thank her for that. But yeah, definitely be dancing.
Emerson, you are part of the backstage crew. Can you please explain what you do, and what is your favourite part of being a part of the backstage crew?
So we take stuff on, take the set pieces on and off set, and then while they're doing their scenes and choreography, we get all the backstage, manage all the set pieces so that we can take it on and off as fast as possible for the next scene. And I enjoy the, we don't put too much effort into it. We don't have to do any rehearsals. It's really just a bit of fun overall. So yeah.
Awesome, thank you. And George, you are in year 6 and one of the youngest in Footloose. What is your favourite part about being in the musical?
Well, this has actually been the first musical that I've ever done, and so everything has really been fun and exciting. But if I had to choose one thing as the best thing, I would choose making new friends.
Yeah, awesome. And Rio, if people are thinking about being part of the next Nudgy musical, what advice do you have for them?
The only real advice I can give is just go for it. Like, join up for a rehearsal and audition. It's the only way you can really learn what it's like.
Alrighty, and Dan, what instrument are you playing in the musical, and what is your favourite song and why?
So yeah, I'm playing bass 1, and I reckon my favourite song is probably Heaven Help Me I'm Free. It's the last song of Act 1, and it really leads into a cliffhanger into Act 2.
Yeah, awesome. Tickets for our Saturday matinee shows are still available to anyone who would like to come, so feel free to contact Miss Kilgour or Miss Kafagi, or ask anyone who is involved in Footloose. Thank you, boys, and now you've heard them at Showcase, and you'll hear them at Open Day on Saturday. Please welcome Sign of Fate to the stage to entertain you once again with Canned Heat.
Hey DJ, let the music play. I'm gonna live this party life. Hey DJ, throw my cares away. I'm gonna live this party life. Hey DJ, let the music play. I'm gonna live this party life. Hey DJ, throw my cares away. I'm gonna live this party life. I used to put my faith in worship, but then my chance to get to heaven slimmed. I used to worry about the future, but then I threw my caution to the wind. I had no reason to be carefree, no, no, no. But then I took a trip to the other side of town. You know I heard the boogie rhythm. I had no choice but to get down, 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 down. Dance, dance, dance. Don't land in my heels tonight, baby. Dance, dance, dance. Got candy in my heels tonight, baby.
I feel the thunder, see the lightning. I know this anger's heaven sent, so I've got to hang up all my hang-ups. 'Cause on the boogie I feel so hell-bent. It's just an instant reaction that I get. I know I never felt like this before. I don't know what to do, but there's nothing new. Stuck between hell and high water, need a cure to make it through. Dance, dance,
heels tonight, baby. Dance, dance, dance. Got candy in my heels tonight, baby. Dance, dance, dance. Got candy in my heels tonight, baby. Dance, dance, dance. Got candy in my heels tonight, baby. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, members of CLT, parents, staff, those watching online, and of course, Nudgy students. Physical endurance, mental toughness, grit. That's what cross-country requires. These athletes who are being presented today will be showcasing their talent, sportsmanship, and sheer determination on Thursday at Limestone Park for the 53rd Annual GPS Cross Country Championships. Waking up early, pushing themselves beyond their perceived limits, and supporting each other to be their best, these runners are so ready for our big day. None of what will transpire on Thursday would be possible without our dedicated cross-country coaches. A huge thank you must go out to head coach Mr. Tui and junior head coach Mr. Will Barker for the way they have run our training sessions over the past 4 months and built outstanding rapport with our runners. Also, many, many thanks to our coaches Mr. Thompson, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Lee, Mr. Masters, Ms. Waterman, Ms. Miner, Mr. Hughes, and Ms. Arnold. I'll now call Mr. Thompson and Mr. Tui to the stage to congratulate our team representatives, as well as Luca Hardman and Noah Doxey, our junior cross-country captains.
Years, Tom Breitling, Isaac Guthrie, Thane Robertson, Edward McEwen, Parker Thompson, Baxter Turner, Harry Oliver, Rocky Rosenthorpe, Harvey Butcherken, Orlando Skates Fontel, under 11s, Harry Hicks, Saxton Crewcamp. Max Porter absent. Diesel Piper. Lachlan Jensen. Christopher Dallymore. Patrick McAvoy. Will Zillman. Sam Wells. Lachlan Coote. Oscar Woolno. Alexander Cliff. Billy Court. Ollie D. Young. James Alabaster. Bill Brandenburg. Braxton Cummins. Ethan Cow. Lucas Jenkinson Rock. Banjo McFarlane. Under 11s.
Under 12s. Nick Bell. Harris Oswald. Finn Oliver. Jack Hilton. Fred Guppy. Angus Crosby. Eli Hodges. Ollie Abdi. Griffin Bianchi. Harry Edwards. Jacob Guthrie. Sam Hardman. Max Watson. Nate Moore. Zach Zillman. Hamish Tucker. Archie Gents. Ashley Morrissey. Luca Hardman.
Noah Doxey. Please congratulate our junior cross-country team.
Good morning, Mr. Thompson, special guests, parents, staff, and my Nudgy brothers. After an extensive pre-season, GPS cross country is finally upon us. The boys have trained hard, day in and day out, to put themselves in the best position to succeed at the championships. I am proud to say that this year's team is more than ready for Thursday, and I can't wait to see the boys perform. Without further ado, your under-13 team. Benjamin Vickery. Matthew Turner. Harry Beaumont. James Newbecker. Sean Watson, who is absent today. Duke Moore. Rocco Kukamp. Lewis Abdi. Nicholas Yellerly. Harry Brown. Dylan Manley, who is absent. Oscar Weber. Patrick McEwen. Isaac Deacon. And Charlie Goodsell. Please congratulate your under 13 runners. Your under 14 team. Alexander Wayne. Michael Donovan. Junjun Ravel. Sam Gervais. Andre De Clara. George Pentecost. Hamish Gaffey, who is absent. Harry Williams. Gus Bate. Billy Spicer. Tex Copeland. George Dart. Caleb Lloyd. Noah Gervais. And Jeremy Deegan. Please congratulate your under 14 team. Vice Captain Cal Turner will now present the under 15 and 16 years.
The under 15s, Alfie Piper. Andreas Stevenson. Alex Smith. Lachlan Cook. Scott Waldron. Max Ullman. Jack Beaumont. Oscar the Cheetah. Eamon Kisang. Tom Cooley. Harry Bate. Nicholas Philp. Jackson Turner. Curtis Lambert. And Dashil Withnell. Please congratulate the under 15s. The under 16s, Ned Curran. Will Curran. Dusty Piper. Finlay Jones. Gus Maloney. Ben Yellowly. George Gillam. Lewis McGorry. Absent. Declan Warnes. Absent. Ben Dixon. Noah Wilson. James Burgess. Sam Cooley. And Diego King-Scott. Absent. Please congratulate the under-16s. I now invite Ms. Trenberth back to the stage to announce the opens.
Okay, our open team. Ned Donovan. Harry Waldron. Ryan Lovelock. Patrick Kennedy. Marcus Newman. Blake Turner, who is absent. Liam McBride. Paddy Maloney. Callum Turner. Ben Clark. Robbie Hopkins. Bailey Todd. Ryan Brown. Jacob Johnson. Paddy Hill Lewis, who is absent. Ted McGinley. Joe Wilson, who is absent. And Thomas Cornwell. Your open cross-country team for 2023.
Good morning, Nudgy gentlemen. Thank you. Good morning, Nudgy gentlemen. Thank you. I also extend a very warm greeting to our guests and also my learned colleagues. I was lucky enough yesterday to speak to Mr. Fulliger, who was walking in the footsteps of Edmund through the town of Waterford, and he said to pass on his best, and I'm sure he'll tune in, even though it's very early in the morning in Ireland, but I'm sure he'll catch up with the live stream. Everyone, it's been a wonderful assembly to this point, a very long one, and I thank you for your attention, but just make sure we finish strongly. So if you're not, sit up straight and just listen to these last couple of points. As I mentioned, it's been a very big assembly, but one that I think is well worthwhile and one that exemplifies something that anchors us here at Nudgee College, and that being the Faith Star. And I just want to reiterate a couple of elements of the Faith Star and how they tie in to this morning's assembly. So first of all, it was great to hear from, led off by Luke and followed up with a number of students, Darcy, Tom and Fred, about our borders and that important element of our school. And as you would know, the very famous story on January 19, that a very young man by the name of Michael McHenry travelled from Spring Hill all the way out Sandgate Road, that wasn't a road at that point, but more of a goat track, in 1891 to become our first enrolled student at Nudgee College. And he, of course, was a boarder. And that impresses on us the importance of us as a boarding institution, as a boarding school. So it's great this week that we're celebrating all things boarding. And so thank you very much to all those people involved. We then heard about, and that reiterates those elements of community that we celebrate so often. We then heard about National Reconciliation Week, which commences next Saturday, and week 7 at Nudgee we'll celebrate. And again, it echoes those community ties and also justice, important elements of the Faith Star. Then we heard that wonderful speech from Mr. Graham about Odd Hobbit Day coming up. Justice, community, and a great deal of courage that underlines that day. And then we saw some magnificent presentations of students up here who have put themselves out there and excelled at the college. And it's one thing that we do very well. And again, I thank you for your patience and your respect during those presentations. So we heard about the musical that's coming up. And one thing I can say there, it's so impressive that this year with our musical, not only did we hear from the cast, then we saw the magnificent band, but we also heard those people we don't often see a lot of. And it was great to see members of the backstage crew. And they're the people that make these things possible, our assemblies, the magnificent showcase that we had last Thursday evening. So it was great that we heard those. Last night with the cross-country team, I was privileged enough to be part of the dinner where a former staff member by the name of Mr. Paul Schomburg was invited back to speak to our students. And what Mr. Schomburg tapped into was the legacy and history of the college. And he spoke a lot about some of the ex-students, our old boys who were absolute champions and forged the path. He was talking about days where he was lucky enough to get 5 students from Nudgee per age group to run at GPS. You saw just then how many students were coming up and willing to represent our college in 2 days' time out at GPS. But I had the honour of actually being taught by Mr. Schomburg way back in the day. And one of the things I was able to do was thank him for his talk last night. And I used the term standing on the shoulders of giants. And that's something that each one of you do every day. The often used term that we have at the school here is 10,000 brothers. But what you have to understand when you think more about it is the legacy that each one of those brothers have left for you. But what you're doing every single day, what you're challenged to do every single day, is to build on that legacy, to enhance the wonderful reputation and legacy of Nudgee College, of those 132 years of history. So those boys who go out on Thursday and run, they will be doing just that. The students who will be performing in our musical, they're going to be doing that. As you leave the CBCC, you're going to be going to class. And hopefully, learning to the best of your ability, you will be doing that. You'll be building upon that legacy. And it's important to know that if each day you're not striving to build upon that legacy to do the best you can, it's easy to change. And some days we have bad days. Sometimes we have bad weeks. Sometimes we go through low points and we're struggling. There's a quote by a 7th century philosopher by the name of Lao Tzu that goes, if you do not change direction, you may end up where you're heading. Now, it might seem really simple on the surface, but if you ponder these words a little bit more, a message comes through. And I can relate this to a pretty typical Australian term that you may or may not have heard. If you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got. So gentlemen, if you're in a position at the moment where you're putting your best foot forward, continue on that path. If you're in a position where you could improve, where there's little changes to be made, I strongly encourage you that maybe today's the day where you can start that change and change that path that you may be on at the moment. Because at Nudgee, every day you're building, as I said at the start, you're building on that legacy. And the path you choose can either enhance that legacy or detract from that legacy. So if there's little improvements to be made, I encourage you today, make that start. Wish all those people who've been up on stage here the best of luck in what's coming up before them. In advance as well, I'd like to thank all the students who'll be involved this Saturday at our open day. Mr. Fulliger returns to Australia on Friday. He's looking forward to seeing many of you on Saturday, as well as hosting our BGS round. Thank you, everyone.
Morning, everyone, and a special welcome to our wonderful parents who have joined us this morning. Gents, can I acknowledge Mr. Graham and his heartfelt words this morning and thank him for sharing those so kindly. He's a wonderful role model to many in this room, and his heartfelt words this morning were impressive, but also speak so much about not only himself, but how he feels about our community. I'm also very proud to be an ally for staff and boys in this room, part of our Nudgee community, who are members of the LGBTQI community. And we look forward to sharing lunch together with the barbecue committee in the Edmund Rice Mall tomorrow, and please know you are all very welcome. Gents, a couple of announcements before we finish today. We're blessed to have some wet weather back. Obviously, our campus, our beautiful campus, was in need of plenty of rain, so that's a good thing. But it will cause some pain today. Wilkes Oval will be shut at lunchtime, and obviously you will need to just slow down a little bit as we're moving around the campus and where possible be undercover. The Purton toilets is really important. The Purton toilets will close for some renovations this week. So it's Tuesday, 2 p.m, that door will be locked and won't be reopened until morning tea Thursday. So on Wednesday, all of Wednesday, you will need to use facilities elsewhere. Also note that throughout this week we'll have open day setups. So again, please be conscious of you using those spaces in break times and follow any instructions from staff. Gents, finally, before we go to the week ahead, I feel we've slipped back into some old habits with our AirPods and headphones. Too many of you are wandering around the school between classes with those in. Okay, remember, very much part of our mobile phone policy, they are not to be seen. Okay, and staff will begin confiscating those if you are not following our gentle reminder. So the week ahead looks like this. Our normal program for our social justice activities will be in place. So Hot Bolt again this afternoon and Thursday, barbecue committee and the baking brigade Wednesday, and of course our big brekkie on Friday morning. Wednesday the barbecue committee will be running our allyship barbecue as discussed, and then on Friday you will have normal SF classes, so everyone in their normal classroom as per your calendar, except for our skills and training lads, so you'll be heading to Ryan Hall. Okay, also note that cheering practice will be on before our Brisbane Grammar home game on Friday at lunchtime, so we would love to see a full grandstand this week, so please make that a priority. As mentioned earlier, Saturday we not only host Brisbane Grammar in tennis and football, but we're hosting many future Nudgee families. So it's a wonderful day for us to showcase our great college. And we know each year that you really step up on that day. Can I just remind you, as we leave Friday, Our classrooms should be extra tidy, and if you could pick up a little bit of rubbish on your way out the gate, that would be helpful. Obviously, our expectations are always high about your uniform, but again, on Saturday, your playing kit should be perfect. And as soon as you're finished playing, we want you in formals to be part of that great day. And I thank in advance the over 100 boys who have volunteered to be tour guides. Gents, enjoy the rest of the week. And as we close our assembly this morning, I ask college senior Jimmy Duggan to give us 3 cheers. Well done, thanks Jimmy. So, gents, if you are in year 5, 6 or 10, remain seated please. As I mentioned, it is wet, so we're moving slowly. If Riley House could go this way, and our parents, if you could move first through the foyer. Thank you for being here with us. Gents, just sit tight please. Sit tight. Tierney, if you could follow our parents, please, and go out the foyer. Tierney, just follow our parents, please. McGee, you may leave. Thank you. And finally, thank you for being the only house that was so patient. Ross, outstanding. All right, gents, if you are in year 5 and 6, you may walk out Hendry Oval side. And thanks to our year 10 men who are packing up chairs. Well done.